Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. When your world went to shit!
Life is a mystery.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do. Trust me, kid, I'm no hero. You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Well, my entire world needs you. Shake on it. Ah! Nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife.
Let's wrap up the road to Deadpool and Wolverine with Deadpool 2, which came out in 2018. And it's about Deadpool after the loss of his love of his life, Vanessa, by a group of murderers, vicious murderers, and Colossus tries to convince Deadpool to join the X-Men and became a trainee. While meeting up with Firefist when he became a trainee. At first they go heroic, but he broke the rules and went to prison. Meanwhile, Cable, played by Thanos, travels back in time to kill Russell. And at first he didn't give a crap about Russell, or Firefist as he calls himself. He decided to join to form a super team called the X-Force, leading with Domino, Shatterstar, Bedlam, Peter, Brad Pitt, and it kind of goes something with the team, if you know what I mean. But still, and they form a team to stop Cable and save Russell. And do they or not? Or does something else happen? So, remember when I said that Logan was my last X-Men movie to watch in general? Yeah, I take that back because I'm gonna be real with you guys. I have never seen Deadpool 2. Crazy, I know. I've watched Once Upon a Deadpool every year, but never I watched Deadpool 2 for some reason. But at the same time, it's really interesting to know that I watched Once Upon a Deadpool before Deadpool 2, because watching it today, I've been pointing out stuff that was not in Once Upon a Deadpool and stuff that wasn't Once Upon a Deadpool that Deadpool 2, the theatrical cut, weren't. I'll get to those in a minute, but let's talk about my overall thoughts on the film, which I think might be controversial, but I do think I enjoyed this more than Deadpool 1. Now, before you unsubscribe or dislike the video, let me give you my thoughts on why. Because this movie is more action-packed and very more emotional than the first one. Specifically with the death of Vanessa, which plays a big, if not important, the most important part in Wade Wilson in this movie, because throughout the movie he feels lonely and depressed and angry losing Vanessa. He still makes jokes and pop culture references and it's still funny and entertaining, but Deadpool 2 mostly wants to make you feel bad for him, and it really does, because when Vanessa dies, he decided to go suicidal, but after it fails, he was joining the X-Men for a while. Then when he got arrested, he got a collar, which was kind of feeling interested in because it loses its powers, and then bothered him that he was initially going to die with the collar on. And was kind of going to heaven, but because he did not really die, he can't go there with Vanessa just yet. And while throughout the movie, he's getting much better in terms of life. When he decided to sacrifice himself for Fire Fist, he put on the collar and decided to not matter to die by saying his last words to his F word, if you know what I mean. And he finally goes to see Vanessa for real in heaven, and now as Wade Wilson's with his normal face. But since Cable traveled back in time, that didn't last very long. But in the post-credit scene, Wade Wilson prevents Vanessa's death and named their kid, and that's why in Deadpool and Wolverine, we see Vanessa alive, as well as Peter and Shatterstar, who died who are X-Force members that died during in the Act 2 in the movie. So yeah, this movie's main thing to talk about is Wade Wilson's journey or character arc in this movie, because it kind of shows a message of how dealing with your love of your life's death, and that feels sad and for everyone that happens to it. And yeah, that's kind of being important to this movie. But other than that, there's a lot of cool action sequences in this movie. Where's the big truck chase truck action sequence that has Deadpool, Cable, and Domino, which has a funny Easter egg of X-Men Origins Wolverine, and so did the post-credit scene of X-Men. I do like how this movie makes kind of pays homage to X-Men Origins with that truck sequence where the Deadpool spins his swords like he did in the elevator scene in X-Men Origins, and when Deadpool kills Weapon 11, his awful self, at the post-credit scene in X-Men Origins before he can fight Wolverine, as well as killing Ryan Reynolds before he can join Green Lantern, which feels a little sad because we're gonna lose Ryan Reynolds in several years, and probably will not age well. Cable is a very awesome addition to this movie. Obviously, he was teased in the second movie, and now that Thanos plays Cable, is a very awesome and perfect casting for him. He is intimidating and a very awesome presence. His costume looks amazing. His fight scenes are pretty cool, especially in the prison scene with Wade Wilson. And going from an anti-hero to a kind of a hero in the third act was pretty awesome to see from Cable. And Domino was also a cool character in addition to it, where her being powers is lucky. And Juggernaut was funny for secondary antagonist for not much screen time. And a very dirty, awesome fight scene with Colossus, who now gets to drop the F-bomb twice in this movie. And a very great fight scene. And of course, there are brief X-Men cameos from the past timelines, which kind of makes it clear that Deadpool takes place in the past with the younger Xavier, Beast, Cyclops, and Jean Grey, which to me it feels a little weird because Colossus is older than he is in the original timeline, which has the much more adult versions of Xavier, Jean Grey, and Cyclops. So it feels weird that Colossus is a more older, I guess, more grown up than the younger X-Men, since he was quite young in the first and Bryan Singer's and Bryan Singer's and Brett Ratner's X-Men movies. But doesn't really bother me. But it was kind of nitpicky for a while for me. And there's a lot of funny moments, like the opening got me a laugh because he was killing people throughout different places at the same sequence, which was very bizarre, but whatever, I'll take it. Or whenever the X-Force gets killed, it's very gruesome and intense, but also made for laughs also. As well as whenever Deadpool makes fourth wall jokes, it can be quite funny. And like I said, there are some things in Once Upon Deadpool that aren't in it, and there are some scenes in Once Upon Deadpool that Deadpool 2 doesn't. The ones that Deadpool 2 has that Once Upon Deadpool doesn't is the opening where Deadpool is smoking and he is listening to music with the dead Wolverine from Logan, and then blows himself and fights other killers from different countries and places. And the movie, the Deadpool 2 part of it, starts out with the killers that kill Vanessa, where Deadpool says, Deadpool 2 is a family film. True story. And every true story begins with a vicious murder. That's how Once Upon Deadpool starts, with that scene, not the smoking and killing the funeral or the Tokyo one at all. And also I noticed that Deadpool 2 doesn't have, the only suicide scene that Deadpool 2 has is one where he blows himself up somewhere. Whereas Once Upon Deadpool, he also jumps himself at a zoo, was gonna shoot himself in front of the old people who Deadpool compares them to Up. And all, yeah, that's one. Those are the two scenes. But those two scenes are not in Deadpool 2. Though I also the scene where he jumps himself out of the bridge, that is not in neither of them. And also the scene where Deadpool and Colossus argue at the X-Mansion in the third act, when Deadpool tries to convince Colossus to join the final battle before he fights Dirty. That is not to be seen in Deadpool 2, but in Once Upon Deadpool. I know that there is I think a 4-hour director's cut of Deadpool 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the scenes from that cut appear in Once Upon Deadpool. So, but it's a really interesting experience if you know about the director's cut, like I don't, because I haven't seen it. Where if you watch Once Upon Deadpool, you know that it's basically Deadpool 2 but PG-13. But though there are some scenes in Once Upon Deadpool that you have not seen Deadpool 2 in theaters in May. So it's an interesting experience to watch both of those movies. And it's thankful that this movie doesn't make me hate Once Upon Deadpool, because I would still watch that movie every year. So yeah, I do think Deadpool 2 is a phenomenal sequel. I really enjoyed Deadpool 2 for what they gave me. and what they were able to do in this Deadpool 2. And I so can't wait to watch Deadpool and Wolverine in a couple hours. So today, yeah. So that is it for my review of Deadpool 2.